Good day, race fans. We've got another Busch Series Nasser Offline NR2003 race on deck for you today. And this time it's going to be at COTA. Our series is going to tackle the Circuit of the Americas this week with the Busch Series and the Cup Series. And today we've got the Busch Series race for you. Starting on the front row, we've got Trevor Walker, who has been hard to beat in these road course races, alongside Al Bunch, who has been well-rounded throughout the season so far. Then we've got Adam Starr and Matthew Fastnot, Lynn Farrell and Craig Busch, John Brinker, who's putting his name in the hat for a championship bid this year, looking pretty good in that 78 Ford JSR entry, alongside Tom Cording. Then you've got Nathan Morgan and Bella Fawn. Brian DeBlank with a more of a full-time schedule now due to the departure of Atlee Weiss. His last outing on a road course was spectacular when he came up third at the South African track in Kyalami. Then we got Justin Patrick there. Lucas Holmes and Jordan Walker. Daniel Paulus and Josh Harrison. Adam Gerber-Forian and Jack Davis, Tyler Landa and Andrew Moger, Braden Hunt and Logan Nagy, Kellen Oakley and Santi Messi, Clarence Bonner and Luis Rodriguez, Kat Durham and Tayden Berggren, James King and Ethan Creech, Nadak Hagum and Zach Armstrong, Riley Sorrell Tracy and Gavin Legend. And then at the very back, James Fireball Robert II, starting with Fred Jones, who's carrying the papyrus flag out there. 38 laps here is going to be about an hour ordeal for these guys. Likely we'll see at least one pit stop in the duration of the race. And if you're a betting man, you'll probably want to be putting your money on Trevor Walker with another road course attempt here. He's been hard to beat at these road course races all year long so far, whether it's trucks or Busch. Crazy part is even though Trevor Walker has been doing good on the road courses, the rest of his schedule hasn't been as spectacular, sitting fourth in the points. His brother Jordan Walker right behind him had a beyond dominant performance at Knoxville last week, where he led all 300 laps that were contested. That win catapulted him quite a ways up the point standings, sitting in fifth now. And the points lead keeps teetering back and forth between Nathan Morgan and Al Bunch. Both of them driving the same ABI Dodge Challengers out there. You might imagine that Al Bunch figures he's getting the short end of the stick against his own teammate. But even then, Al Bunch has only had a couple bad races mixed in with all of his good races. Al Bunch having 2 wins on the season so far. Green flag waves and they're going up the ever steep hill here at Circuit of the Americas, going into turn 1. They settle in single file amongst the top 3. Looks like Adam Starr is going to try to make a pass on the outside of Al Bunch here. Cruising around Al Bunch. Now we got Adam Starr up to second on the first lap early here. But to no one's surprise, it is Trevor Walker way out front currently, getting a sizable advantage on this first lap as it stands. COTA is definitely one of the larger tracks that we race on in terms of layout and the way it's built. Even though the track's pretty wide, there's not a whole lot of technical spots to make passes. When they get up to speed, it's mostly a pretty winding, fast track for most part. This is definitely one of my favorite spots on the track when they come roaring around this turn, and they can carry so much momentum going up the hill here. And we're under caution already here within the first lap. It does look like perhaps Clarence Bonner was involved in a wreck. So let's get back to the bottom of this and figure out just how this wreck happened. We were busy watching the front of the field. Whoa! Yeah, the turn one chaos reared its ugly head here, as the number 2 of Riley Sorrell Tracy just lost his brakes, it seems like. We'll play it in slow motion here and see just what happens as Riley Sorrell Tracy, wow, and he just hung it to the right like he was trying to intentionally wreck the cars there. This is all the drivers that make it through all right. Clarence Bonner gets slobbered on, hits so hard that it spins into Santi Messi, collecting Taden Berggren, Kellen Oakley, and Fireball, all within that wreck. Gotta imagine that something went terribly wrong with that number 2 car for that to even have transpired. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be filling empty time here, as caution at COTA usually lasts quite a while. So let's hop in and see as many in-car cams as we can here and figure out how to fill all that empty time that we're going to end up with. So here's the in-car on Riley Sorrell Tracy. Gets the green flag waving, momentum. He stays in line as they should without making a pass before the start-finish line. Peaks on the inside, and it's like the car just lost traction or something. Nothing came up on our readout there for a tire failure or anything. Bam. Most of these drivers are probably going to be able to get out of this with minimal damage at least, but we can now say that we were not able to complete one full lap under competition here at COTA. And this still remains as Trevor Walker in the lead. What this will do is going to give Adam Starr a chance to start alongside Trevor Walker on a restart here. And we're going to see how Trevor Walker fares with a little bit of competition starting beside him. Al Bunch definitely was a strong contender to start on the front row, but it seemed like Adam Starr had a quicker car right from the start here. We should be getting back to green after this pace lap here. The pace light should turn off on the pace car, and we'll see him go back green on lap 4, hopefully. Just the duration, the length of this track always makes it longer when you're under caution here. Few drivers did pit during that this caution period. I did see the number 10 of Jordan Walker come down pit road. Looks like he might have got some damage. We'll see how he came about getting damage. Once the caution waved, they're wowing up going into turn 1. Seems like everything's okay. They got bunched up on the back half of the track here. Looks like there's just a little bit of disorder amongst the front of the field there, kind of accordion effect that wound up causing the 10 car some damage, so that might be trouble for him at the end of the race later, but everyone's double filed up here and getting ready to go back green. Matthew Fastnot there on the line behind Adam Starr now. Al Bunch will be starting right there behind Trevor Walker. As we get to the front stretch, close to it, this will be the turn before the front stretch. And Nathan Morgan, our points leader there in the 00, about 6 spots behind Al Bunch. Al Bunch is only 7 points behind Nathan Morgan, so the way they're running right now would likely give Al Bunch the points lead back. A lot of racing left to go. John Brinker even having a good run here. Could potentially catapult himself up into the point standings further. Sitting third, 12 points back, so it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out here at COTA. Trevor Walker in 4th, however, 43 points back, so he's got quite a steep hill to climb. And no pun intended as they climb the hill going into turn 1 here. But like I was saying earlier, Trevor Walker, it seems like his Achilles heel is racing at any other track that's not a road course right now. And that's given him a big deficit in the points like he has. However, Still running good enough to be fourth in the points. Oh, and we've got trouble with our points leader, as looks like Nathan Morgan got in a wreck here. Yep, exactly what happened. 3 wide with Craig Busch and Tom Cording. This ends up spinning him out and bringing out a caution. And he's going to lose all of that track position. Since this is NR2003, we do race back to the yellow flag. Everyone right now still on their lap to try and finish it out before taking the caution. And if we could get a green flag run here, I do believe that we have a strong strong group here in contention for the win tonight. Adam Starr and Al Bunch are no slouches to the leader of Trevor Walker. So just like that, we're back under caution again, and apologies that this will be another lengthy break from the racing. So With some of these altering pit strategies right now, this could make things interesting going forward, as some of these drivers might be trying to eliminate any future pit stops in the race. If we keep getting as many cautions as we do, gas mileage might be easier to hit the numbers on. So it's always the fun thing about road courses is the strategies that do tend to alter or affect the outcome of the race. A lot of these cars look beat up and damaged as if they were short track racing here today. Brinker sitting in 6th, doing pretty good there. However, the big change will be the 00 car, who's going to have to start way back in 20th place. So our points leader has got a lot of ground to make up here from lap 6 on. And as they run right now, Al Bunch would be your current points leader. John Brinker would slot his way up to 2nd. And Trevor Walker is making a bid for getting into the top 3 in the points with his run here today. Of course, the one thing that is always on the line in the Sylvania Busch Light Series is the championship here will earn you a starting ride in the Cup Series in some way or other. So your champion here is definitely wanting you want to win this championship so that you can move up into the big times and race in the Cup Series. Cup guys are going to race here tomorrow at COTA, and there's no telling how that's going to play out. We've seen a lot of road course dominance from the Arrow McLaren team of Tristan Reams and Alexander Rossi. So if any of the previous races this season are an indicator, it's likely that Arrow McLaren is going to have a great race here tomorrow in the Sylvania Cup Series. Tristan Reams just secured his 2nd win on the season. So Reams definitely looking strong, leading the points right now. Surprised that we've got rookies that are showing up the whole field here in 2023. And there's going to be one of these rookies here that'll earn their way into the Cup Series by June. Once our winter season comes to a close, then we'll start a new season over with the Sylvania Busch Light Series, part of the summer circuit. So pace car is off. They're making the final turn here at COTA to get back onto the front straight. This will be rolling into lap 7. Playing with the camera angles to figure out what's the best camera for this restart here. Imagine I'll have to switch once they get towards the hill here to yep, there we go. I got it figured out now. Rolling into turn 1, Trevor Walker with the advantage, and Al Bunch might want to take back that 2nd spot from Adam Starr here. Starr holding off on the inside, but now on the outside line as they're going to be going through the S's. P2 belongs to Al Bunch once again. Looks like we are going to manage to stay green for a while here. The back of the field is behaving for a change. Although it's never a guarantee because there's always a lot of side-by-side action here on these restarts. Double file restarts tend to lead to more cautions in our series here. This Busch Light Series has been surprising this year. We've seen the fewest cautions amongst our 3 series of racing in the Busch Series here. So these guys racing like veterans week in and week out. I think it just goes to show you that our feeder series is no joke, as a lot of these guys want to make it up to the big times. And the only reason they've made it to this Busch series is because they proved themselves in the truck series and other forms of racing to get here. The only problem, you don't have 37 open slots in the Cup Series. We can't give every single one of these drivers a ride in the Cup Series. So that's why it's competition here. Who can win the championship and prove that they are the greatest of the best here. Nathan Morgan making some moves. He's looking exciting to watch. Gotta imagine that car is way faster than the cars that he's currently bogged down by. In the front straight. Currently behind the damaged vehicle of Fred Jones. 3 wide perhaps going up the hill here. Thinks better of it and just holds the line behind Fred Jones. And with that restart, he jumped from 19th all the way up to 16th. And he's not done. He's trying to make another move here on Gavin Legend for the spot. And we did something that we haven't been able to do yet today. We finished 1 full lap under green without a caution. Out front, the lead still belonging to Trevor Walker as he's stretching it out ever so slightly on Al Bunch. Out of the race, we have the 11 of Craig Busch retired and the 79 of Fireball Robert. Trevor Walker has already stretched his lead out to 3.04 seconds over Al Bunch. So, as things are playing out here, it's looking like a carbon copy of previous road courses this year. Jordan Walker just won the last race in the Busch Series, as mentioned, where we were at Knoxville last week, leading 300 of 300 laps contested there. It was a clinic. And Trevor Walker actually charged through the field, got hardest charger to come up and finish second for the, I think was likely the first ever brother duo, Walker brother duo. Not the first ever in the series, because me and my brother had finished 1-2 before. first time that the Walker brothers got a 1-2, so pretty neat. Racing families stick together, it seems like, as there's a lot of family ties between drivers and all that amongst the 3 different series. You got the Walker brothers in the trucks in Busch. You got the Shangle brothers in the Cup. There's a lot of rivalries too. I mean, amongst even the brothers and stuff, we get some exciting rivalries brewing amongst all the drivers. I would say Bradley Ream and Chaz Chadwick is one of the hot duos, at least rivalry duos, in the truck series this year. Between the two of them, it seems to go back and forth on who's winning, who's leading the points, and I think we're going to see those two in the championship 3 at the end of the year. If one of those two missed the championship 3, it would be a true crime as to not let it play out that way. But anything's possible. Crazy things happen. I mean, just last year with Guido Piano stealing the show, he missed the first 3 to 4 races in the USA Trucks 2022 season, got hot at the right time of the year, and won the last 2 races in a must-win scenario nonetheless. He was not going to move on to the final 3 without a win. He was so far behind in points, and he had to win Pocono. Went on to win Pocono, and then earned his way in the final 3, going on and doing exactly what he needed to do. Won the championship by winning the race at Talladega last year. So, and with that, earned him his first bid in the Cup Series. Mid-pack in the Cup Series right now, 21st in the points. Still learning the tracks, learning the cars and whatnot compared to what he was running last year in the trucks. So rookies, definitely there's a fair shakeup of both sides of it. We've got rookies that are winning races and setting the world on fire in Cup, and then we've got rookies that are still learning the ropes, trying to get a hold of those wild Cup cars that they're driving in. One thing that is going to be a thing going forward is some of these Cup drivers, if they're not performing up to par, they might end up getting demoted back down here to the Busch Series or even the trucks. Because each season we're going to have a winner here from the Busch Series, and we'll need open seats in the Cup. So by process of elimination, the driver that's lowest on the totem pole could potentially get demoted back down to the Busch Series. And it's all going to be dependent on how they fare in the Cup Series. If we look at the Cup standings towards the back of the standings right now, you've got drivers like Ryan Blaney, Chris Hergeson, Chaz Chadwick. Those are 3 decent names that have made it all the way up to the Cup Series, but based on their performance so far, they could be at risk of getting knocked back down to Busch. The only exception, however, would be Chaz Chadwick, who is currently associated with his own team and would not get demoted back down to Busch. So that's the only way that a driver can be stably secure in the Cup Series, is if they're a team owner. Think of it as a charter of sorts, that you're guaranteed not to get knocked down to the Busch or trucks again permanently from the Cup Series. Even Tim Cording, owning his own team in Cup, is mostly safe, but there's a lot that could happen. I mean, We could see non-team owners get knocked back down here into the Busch Series and have some big names racing back here in the Busch Series again. Kind of like an AJ Allmendinger or an Elliott Sadler. And that too also would mean we might have some drivers that are lifelong lifers here in the Busch Series, kind of like a Randy LaJoy, or I guess currently some drivers like Justin Allgaier, who tried to move up to Cup but have resided mostly in Xfinity Series their whole career. The only way that'll happen is they're not miserably out there enough that they get knocked out of Busch, but they're not doing great enough to progress up through the series either. One thing that's going to be exciting is once we do start crowning champions here in the Busch Series and drivers are graduating out of it, seeing how that shakes up the field going forward, who may have had, the third fastest car each week will eventually become the fastest car after they leave the series. So, and one other wrinkle in the fabric of next season is all the real life drivers are going to be formally retired from the NR2003 Sylvania Cup Series, meaning we'll have a lot of open seats for trucks and Busch to move around. Progression still will follow normal procedure. Busch Series will move up to Cup, and because of that, our 35 to 37 Busch field is going to end up recruiting some truck drivers up into here. So that gets a little bit of excitement brewing for people that are wanting to move through the series quickly. As we've got drivers like Alexander Rossi, Romain Grosjean, Jimmy Johnson, Scott Dixon, to name a few, that are holding down seats in the Cup Series. But in 2024, none of them will be running in the Sylvania Cup Series anymore. So think about it. This winter season, we're only going to have one graduate into the Cup Series. And based on how things are running right now, it could be Al Bunch, it could be Nathan Morgan, could be Trevor Walker, it could be Jordan Walker. And that's why we run all the races. The 23 race season, we're getting close to halfway now. And with the playoffs, that'll definitely shake things up too. Al Bunch has been dominant amongst the three series. He's had a part-time schedule in Cup, which leads most to believe that Al Bunch is going to be a ringer to get into the Cup Series sooner than later. But we're still trying to adhere to the protocol, and Al Bunch wants to win as many races in the Busch Series before he just jumps straight up into a full-time Cup ride. You don't want to jump through the series too quickly and waste your talent getting into a car that you have not prepared for. Obviously, running down in these lower series gives you more time, more experience with just about anything on four wheels. And if you hop up into the Cup Series too quickly, it'll cause you to get disillusioned. It'll ruin your career of sorts early on when you could have been winning races in the lower classes, proving your way to the top. You just don't want to move up too quickly and waste your talent and basically burn your bridges. If you burn your bridges, it'll be hard to get back up into that Cup Series someday. I think it is amazing how Trevor Walker just has the car for road courses right now. He's going to be a scary one when he makes his Cup Series run later on in the year for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame race at the Cleveland Airport. There's a lot of fun paint schemes getting built for that. Not to mention, we've also got an ARCA series starting up here in June. It is confirmed our start date for the ARCA series will be June 23rd. And Andrew Moger is going to be broadcasting them on Fridays. So, as long as everything goes accordingly and planned, we should have it debuting on the 23rd. And I have no doubt, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a sure shot deal that'll come out just fine. So, something exciting to look forward to. I know that the buzz has been about that ARCA series right now. A lot of teams from the trucks, Busch, and Cup owners putting their names in the hat to get some cars fielded for this ARCA series. What's going to be exciting about this ARCA series is most of your drivers do not know what they're going to be running until they get drafted. We'll do a fantasy football style draft in May or June, depending on how soon we can get to it. And each team owner gets to pick who they want to race their car on the field. And right now, all the cars are being built to the team specs, teams' preferences and whatnot, sponsors and how the car come out looking, meaning that these drivers that are getting drafted, they might be representing a sponsor that's contrary to what they're used to. But once you get down into the ARCA series, there's really, no room for being picky, as that's going to be your last resort to stay amongst the top drivers in the NASCAR series here. Our truck series has grown to about 68 strong right now, which is just beyond crazy. To think that the series started with 22 drivers last year in 2022, and we're already halfway through a season here in 2023, and we're up to 68 drivers. Definitely goes to show why the ARCA series had to come about. With so many truck drivers, it was getting harder and harder for people to see themselves making starts here in the NASCAR series. And so that'll give just about everyone an opportunity to watch themselves hit the track each week. Something that's been a little bit hard here in 2023 with the growing pains that we've experienced. But growth is always good, and it's leading for some exciting concepts going into next year even. So good run for Matthew Fastnot, who's been sitting in 5th for quite a long duration of the period here. As this race is slowly closing in on the first hour mark, we're just shy of halfway. Likely we'll be stretching this one into the hour and a half mark in length. The one I'm definitely curious about is to see how well Nathan Morgan's climbed through the field. And since last time we checked on him, he was in 16th. He's all the way up to 12th and fighting for 11th there, as you can see. He's probably going to be able to get by Cat Durham here pretty easily. and take 11th away from him. This will help minimize the damage done to his points lead, the more spots that he can pick up. Since our initial start, where we had 2 cautions, now we have a good lengthy green flag run of about 12 laps right now. The Busch League guys have settled in for a good run here at COTA. There's plenty of track. There's no reason they can't settle into a long green flag run. It just seems like double file restarts going up that hill can be very chaotic at times. Great run from Adam Starr here, who's had a mildly uneventful season up to this point. Hasn't had a bad season. Currently sits at 14th in the points with 0 wins, 0 top 5s, and 4 top 10s. This looks like he could be going towards his first top 5 here on the season. At a tough road course, which some may not have presumed to see him running as close to the front like this. A podium finish here would help catapult him past the likes of Zach Armstrong, Daniel Paulus, and Josh Harrison. We also saw Clarence Bonner get in a wreck earlier, so that'll give him an opportunity to get by Clarence Bonner for about top 10 in the points. As long as everything finishes out the way it's running right now. And Adam Starr closing in on Al Bunch's bumper. Might be thinking about making a pass for second. Good run up the front stretch here going into the hill. Staying ever so close to the backside of Al Bunch, not letting him get away. Alrighty, with 10 laps to go here, Trevor Walker has a whopping 22-second lead over Adam Starr. And what we'd seen during the live run is that Adam Starr had a great pit stop under green flag pit stops. Al Bunch kind of struggled with his pit stop, and it dropped him all the way back to 4th. Up to 3rd is Lynn Farrell. Matthew Fastnot holding on for 5th. John Brinker up to 6th. Tyler Landa and teammate Justin Patrick running right behind them. In 9th, we've got Braden Hunt. 10th, we've got Tom Cording. And all the way up to 12th from where he was running after the wreck, Nathan Morgan is trying to minimize the bleeding here and lose the least amount of points possible. He's still been fighting with Cat Durham for this position for the entirety of this stint. Not able to find a way around the 52 car as he's holding down 11th place, keeping Morgan from making any more moves in the field here. Yeah, but things have kind of gone the way of Trevor Walker yet again on a road course here. Alrighty, final lap of the race, each 2-minute lap around the circuit. And we're finally on lap 38 here as Trevor Walker has a 34-second lead over Adam Starr. Trevor Walker, short of having a mechanical failure, looks like he's going to be the one here today to get it done. Adam Starr in second, of course. Al Bunch has worked his way back up to third. Lynn Farrell in fourth. Matthew Fastnod in fifth. And this could potentially be a battle for position, it looks like, as Brinker's right behind him. The 00 of Nathan Morgan has got by Cat Durham into 11th, so that'll help with the points tally a little bit there. We'll keep our eyes on this section on the track while Trevor Walker's out front closing up the deal here. Brinker's got a little bit of momentum here on Matthew Fastnot. Fastnot still holding off for fifth. And the winner of the race is Trevor Walker, taking home the most dominant performance here at COTA that we've ever seen. Adam Starr looks like he's going to finish second here. Al Bunch in third. Lynn Farrell in fourth. This will really be our only close battle on track in the closing laps here in the top 5. As they come up the front straight for one more time, it's going to be Matthew Fastnot bringing it home in 5th. John Brinker coming home in 6th. So starting from the bottom, drivers that wrecked out earlier was James Robert and Craig Busch. Finishing 2 laps down in 34th, we had Zach Armstrong. rough day for him as he's been looking good here in the Busch Series. That's going to knock him down a little bit in the points. Andrew Moger right in front of him, 2 laps down, finishing 33rd. James King, Fred Jones, Riley Sorrell Tracy, who caused the initial first wreck of the race, finishes 30th on the lead lap. Then you got Nadak Hagum, Luis Rodriguez, Lucas Holmes, Brian DeBlanc, Adam Gerber-Forian, Santi Messi, Clarence Bonner, Jack Davis, Kellen Oakley, Bella Fawn, Logan Nagy, Ethan Creech, Josh Harrison, and Daniel Paulus. So now for our top 15, we had Gavin Legend in 15th, Tayden Berggren, Jordan Walker, Kat Durham, Nathan Morgan, Tom Cording in 10th, Braden Hunt, Justin Patrick, Tyler Landa, John Brinker. And in 5th, we had Matthew Fastnot, Lynn Farrell, Al Bunch, Adam Starr, and our winner, of course, Trevor Walker. So just like that, we are nine races through the season here in the Sylvania Busch Light Series. Race 9, another dominant performance from a Walker brother. Back-to-back wins for the Walker brothers, Jordan and Trevor both winning the last 2 races. We only had 2 cautions in the race early on, and then it was long green flag sailing from there. Trevor Walker definitely trying to put a bid in for the championship. With a run like that at COTA, there's no telling how the rest of the season's going to go for him. So, yet again, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is just the second race this week, and we're going to head on to the Cup Series at COTA next on the schedule for our streaming lineup. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Congratulations to Trevor Walker on a more than dominant performance at COTA. Anyone else will have to start doing their homework to try and catch up to Trevor on these road courses. So, great day of racing here at COTA. Hopefully you can tune in for the Cup race next. Have a good day and see you on the flip side.